So NBA 2K did a Twitch stream and announced some really cool nuggets for the upcoming NBA 2K26 release. And I'm not gonna lie to you, some really good information that is basically making the community yearn for more, which is cool because obviously we have multiple weeks to wait until NBA 2K6 comes out. So really good move by my man Evan and Stacks, man. Shout out to them. And of course, you know, I'm here to go ahead and give you some of the new things that they brought up, and then of course give my spin and my thought process on that. Okay, so what I want to talk about, of course, is the three major changes to gameplay. And I think that a lot of people, this is where it all starts. I don't care who you are, what type of person you are, if you're a sim head or you're, you know, a cheese head or my team or, you know, my career, it all starts with gameplay. That is the fundamental baseline of whether a game can be good. And what they did is that on higher difficulties, only green releases will go in and no more whites will be dropping. So if you remember in 2K25, if you picked the higher tier as far as your release, you were either green or miss, but other people could have used lesser difficulty and they could have a slightly earlier, slightly late, and that could have gone in. But now, if you're playing in, I'm assuming it has to be Pro-Am, it has to be events, it has to be stage, those type of venues, this is where it will take effect. Okay, so if you're a casual player, don't get deterred. You'll still be able to have that. But if you are a comp player, now you don't have to worry about somebody you're playing against having weaker animations. All right, but here's another big one. The shot meter and dunk meter now will get their green windows back. And for me, as a slasher, that is something that I desperately wanted because it was very difficult to understand when you miss. I mean, we're all about feedback. You want to get as much data as you possibly can on your first dunk attempt to know what you have to do for your second dunk attempt, because not every single dunk is created equal, and not every single park game, not every single rec game, the latency is different. So you need that type of information and feedback. So again, it's a massive W. This goes back to my previous video. Again, like I be telling y'all don't want to be listening to me, man. What did I say in my previous video when we were talking about those the green releases and the Zens and 2K trying to find a way to negate that, right? It all ties right on back now when I was like, yo, we gotta stop punishing the people that aren't cheating, that because you're trying to get that small percentage of individuals that are. And guess what? 2K heard it loud and clear. It's like, you know what? Yes, all right, yeah. Bringing the green window back is definitely going to give people that have scripts, you know, an opportunity to cheat. But now individuals that weren't cheating, we're not going to be punished either. At least we're on a fairer playing ground than we were before. Okay. So, and then all layups will now have to be timed with the layup meter. So there's no more of just pressing square, going up and let the computer and your high rating layup take over. But Evan did mention, he said, hey, do not worry about it for the casual players. If you're wide open and you terribly mistime your layup, it will still go in. So there has to be some type of, well, I'm not saying that, there is going to be some type of contest system to that, because if you're saying wide open is going to go in, then the game has to be told that this needs this 100% chance going in no matter what, compared to if something's 50% contested. You're going to have to time that. So expect some type of timing needed for obviously contested, highly contested layups, but the open layups will still go in. But that is a good W too. I think everybody should have to time a layup. Yes, you should have to time a layup, right? It's 2K26 now. Time the layup, all right? Now let's talk about another big one here, which is the MyPlayer builder. You know, I live, breathe, sleep. Everybody in my community, most of y'all follow me because of that. And the big one here is that now you can preview body types in the builder, which is good because we all know you make a build and you go see what it looks like, and then you'll exit back out and recreate them, add more weight, because you want to make sure your Kobe Bryant build looks like Kobe Bryant and doesn't come out too skinny, right? So that is an actually really good feature that's been added to the builder. Cat breakers, of course, are going to be back, but they're going to say there's new ways to unlock them. So Evan did say there was new ways to unlock them. Beforehand, it was just you had to get it as a cat breaker from the season pass, hitting level 40. But now there's supposed to be another way. I'm kind of like, because the season pass, people purchased the season pass to get a cat breaker was a lot of money to 2K. So still bank on that the most easiest and efficient way was still some way, shape, or form tied back to paying for the season pass. I just don't see 2K putting the season pass, watering down the season pass at all. They want, if anything, they're going to keep adding to the season pass because that is bringing good revenue to, for them. And then, of course, takeovers from last year will still be back this year. So there is no change to the takeover system. The takeover system will be the same. There was a lot of positive reviews with that. And again, I think that, it was that, there wasn't nothing terrible about the takeover system, so I can see that coming back. But then the big one here is that they hinted their goal is more build diversity. All right, where have y'all heard that before? Yeah, I think y'all heard that from me, right? And said we will hear more when creators get hands on this summer, likely implying Community Day, which of course Community Day is right around the corner. But again, man, like this is just, obviously this has been a big thing. You even see Joe Knows, he did a video on the MyPlayer Builder. I've done multiple videos on the MyPlayer Builder and how the MyPlayer Builder is just a very small fraction of what it takes to have build diversity. And again, it starts with the gameplay. And again, the reason why 2K20 is my favorite game of all time is because that definitely allowed and gave individuals the opportunity to have build diversity. I'm not gonna get too far on that because that'll be another 45-minute video. But again, expect, just like y'all saw in my other videos, right? Obviously, if there's gonna be build diversity, you should expect to see bigger builds and builds that with lower 3-point ratings, being able to shoot. That's because that's the only way you can get build diversity, right? If you're making it very difficult to shoot, there's not gonna be build diversity. If you have to have an 80-something to shoot a 3-ball, it's not gonna be build diversity. 2K20, the slashing shot creator, the two-way slashing playmaker, most people just had a 65 to a 72 3-ball, was able to hit. We had pure paint beasts that had like a 60 3-ball that was able to hit. I remember I had a pure red lockdown and I had like a, a 63, 64, and I was able to hit in the corner. That's how you get build diversity, because if you make it easier to shoot with lower rated builds, you're gonna get build diversity, okay? And then if you reward somebody that has a 99 3-ball, you're gonna get people that would rather be like, okay, I wanna be able to shoot from half court. Or do you got the guys that say, hey, I wanna be a slasher, I wanna be able to get foot in the line and shoot a 3. That brings build diversity. So anyway, that's what we have there. All right, now we wanna talk about the city, okay? So the city has a new logo, right? It says the city with the park, and that's unique. So I'm interested to see what that is. But Evan said something that was really intriguing. He said it's easier to get to places in the city, and it's even more intimate. Easier to get to more places in the city. So does that mean now from the load from the menu screen, you're able to go straight to wherever you want to go? Because that would be really good. Just skip the city in general. No one wants to do that. Just load up and play. That'd be fun. But I don't know. We don't know what that means. So we'll be seeing that at a later date. But this is a good one. New mode leaderboards will rank players in rec, theater, etc., with the top player of the day getting a 12-foot statue outside that mode's building. So if you are the #1 player in rec, guess what? You will have your statue in front of that for the day. So it's only a day. But if you want to maintain it every day, you got to be grinding. People on the leaderboard grinding for legend, obviously they'll probably be the ones that is there all the time. I know me personally, you won't see Uncle Demi statue out there because I got to get my 8 hours of sleep. But I know some of y'all young bruds, you know what I'm saying, y'all cool with playing the game 20 hours and stuff, and more power to you. When I was younger, I was doing that. But I ain't doing that no more, so I'm not gonna be on the statue. But that is good to see that now people will be able to get that. Almost kind of how it was in 2K18, where you went to the and we was in the courts, and then you could see like Poor Boy Sin. He was up there on the leaderboard, or you know, the other leaders at the time, so that's good. But also they said the new parks will have more natural environments like you might see in the real world or your neighborhood. And once again, where did y'all hear that from first? Like, I said that in a couple videos ago, right? I mean, it's like, again, it's just putting 1 and 2 together. Like I tell people all the time, you just gotta see what is the loudest thing people in the community are talking about, and that is going to lead you to a really good, you know, hypothesis of what's gonna be in the game. You know what I mean? It doesn't take rocket science. So again, I hit that right on the head. It's like most of these things you're hearing, I hit that right on the head in my previous videos from the past month. You know? So again, you know, expect that, which I'm expecting to get that feel of like, you know, a real park. Some of the rims, some of the backboards are cracked, right? Some of them got nets, some of them don't have nets. You know, we in the city, we in the hood, you know, Rucker Park, whatever, but more intimate, real life, look real, like, you know, with people driving around in their bikes, people standing around, you know what I'm saying? People with their duffel bag coming there, pulling their shoes out and they flip-flops. Like, listen, that's what I want. That's when you say, you know, real world or your neighborhood, because he said your neighborhood, think about your neighborhood, how it is. That should be fun. So expect that. And then this is a big one. Parks will be at a fixed time of the day to reduce shadows and lighting in the park. So we all hated the lighting and shadowing in the park. That's where we come to that whole argument of how realistic do you want a game to be, right? Do we really want that light and shadow? So something, you know, certain things we just, hey, okay, yeah, I mean, that's too realistic. We don't need the lighting. Let us just play with no shadowing because it's just ridiculous to be able to see. So that has been fixed. So that's basically all the stuff we got today. Definitely is curious to see what y'all feel and what y'all think about that. They did again roll out the whole rollout of NBA 2K features. So I'll just leave that up there for y'all to be able to look at while I speak. But again, it's going to start on 7/28 and then it's going to roll all the way through to 9/5. But then one last thing I want to bring up is that if you look at the poster that they have, there's a lot of good stuff up there. And again, I'm not the type of guy to really understand all the codes and stuff. And I'm pretty sure eventually we will see individuals that will have some type of way of breaking it down. But if you look hard, you see the MyPlayer builder name right here in the poster. It says small ball forward. Does it say small ball 4? And he's 6'7", he's 226 pounds with a 7'1" wingspan, and can't really make out the rest. But so that's already a new build name right there. All right. But anyway, this is the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and as usual, your favorite old head, Uncle Jimmy. I'll be back really soon with the banger, man. You know, when I say back soon with the banger, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.